Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Average Gentlemen's podcast. We're bringing you the best of episode. Basically, it's bits and pieces of our favorite pieces throughout the year and compiling it into one episode. So if you like it, enjoy. If not, well, listen to something else. We're here with a new episode and some changes.
A new beginning.
A new beginning. So, to give you guys a quick recap, Joey and Ralphie are no longer with us, but we are introducing a new host by the name of Joe. Joe, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Joe, and we decided to pick someone with the same name just to fuck with you guys. So, and also it made us not have to relabel the board that we use because there was already a Joe on there. But I am Joe Watkins. So, a little bit about myself. I work for one of the largest beer companies in the world. Everyone else, they're saying I should be more prudential or tight-lipped, I guess would be a better word than the way I am. But I'm going to screw up and I'm going to say stuff that I probably shouldn't say. So, but it is what it is. So I work in the beer business, in sales. I cover the state of New Jersey, drink a lot of good beer, get to get out there, talk to a lot of good people. And, yeah, so that's what I do. What else do you guys want to know about me? I mean,
what do you got as far as your interests? What brought you to the show? What enticed you to join us?
So what enticed me?
Besides our invitation.
Yeah.
I mean, I was invited into the mix, so yes, there was that. I mean, it's something that I've been interested in for a while. I've been listening to, I'm in the car a lot. I drive a lot for work. So I'm constantly listening to podcasts, and it's just something that has interested me a lot for the last year or so that I've really gotten into them. And since day one with the first episode you guys did, I was a listener, I was a fan, and I was constantly giving I hope wanted advice as I was hearing things, and on the podcast trying to help you guys be the best that you could be. And when the opportunity you guys gave me to come over here and be part of it, I was like, fucking A, let's do this shit.
Nice. Well, we're glad to have you.
So, should we talk about how we know each other? About how, you guys have established a little bit about your relationship in the past?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, good, by all means.
So, long story short, I was married to someone who was friends with these fine gentlemen here, and that's how we met. And we became friends, and their friendship lasted through my divorce, so they outlasted a marriage. That's fucking awesome, guys.
Yeah. Remember that time I almost fought you?
The first time we fucking met?
That was funny.
Because my again,
well, I was really hammered too.
You were hammered, and
very hammered.
My ex-wife was imbibing a few apple martinis, if I remember correctly. And it was about a stupid fucking trip too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it all started
it started
from a group vacation that we normally take every year and blew up to something, and yeah.
Because,
I mean, listen, when you have,
well, the first problem was the fucking people you guys are friends with.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
I'm not going to say names, but Erica, fuck you. Sorry. I'm still a little bitter about that. Couple decades later, almost. But yeah. So the first time we met, and I'll tell the story if you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead.
We were at this party. I believe it was your house, right?
My parents' house. Yeah.
It was your Super Bowl.
Was it Super Bowl?
It was a Super Bowl. Yeah.
Cardinals and Steelers.
So I was coming from work, and I brought beer with me to the party, and we were drinking because we were 24-ish, 25,
something like that.
Yeah, we were fucking babies. 20. I mean, if anyone says that when they're 23, they're a grown man.
It's over 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's a long fucking time ago at this point. And so we were at this party, and this whole big drama happens because women. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it. It was.
You're on a gentleman's podcast. You can say it.
Yeah. Listen,
they bitches be bitches. All right, I'm just gonna say it. And they start having this huge blowout over. Well, no one told me we booked these plane tickets already, and I thought I was part of it. And then someone's tick got slammed in the door of a bathroom and
blew up out of nowhere.
Your sister was like flipping out and screaming.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was my
so. It was a parents' house. Your parents' house.
Disrespected your parents.
Yeah, it was my parents' house. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was drunk too, And then, yeah,
it got out of hand.
Everything escalated, and it was like, well, what the fuck?
It was like that meme. Well, that escalated quickly. It was that in real fucking life. And so,
I'm sure, like everyone has experienced something like that before.
100%,
at least once in their life, where something just got out of hand too quick, and it was just nothing good ended out of it.
And then we extended it because we went out afterwards.
Yeah, and we got in trouble after that too. No comment on that.
I don't know that story, but we can get back to that later. So I now leave my cooler that I had brought with me. I think it was a work cooler or something. So I had to go back and get it after this huge fight where my ex-wife stormed out of the house, and we're just dating at the time. So I'm like, this is fucking awkward. And I'm like, I have to go back and get my cooler. So I go back to get my cooler, and Ramsey gets in the door right in my face, and and I'm trying with all, and I'm not as nearly as drunk as he is because I work for a beer company. I drink for a living. And he gets in my face like nose to nose, and I'm biting my lip not to laugh at him. I'm like, dude, I really don't want to fight you. Like,
dude, you're like a foot taller than me, and I'm like slurring my words.
I'm a big guy. I'm 6'1". I'm 315 pounds now. But back when this was going on, I was at least another 75 pounds heavier at this point. So I'm up close to 400 pounds, and I was fat at one point. I was 550 at my heaviest, and yeah, I was a big dude, and Ramsey's in my face. I'm like, dude, I don't want to fight you because, I used to bounce in Hoboken. I mean, I did physical jobs. And so luckily he backed down, or I just walked away. However it ended.
Honestly,
I don't want to say like
no, listen, I
juiced you.
I honestly don't even know what happened. I don't even know. Like, all I remember was, I remember we were gonna fight. And I don't remember what happened after that.
No, you were going to fight.
Well,
I was just trying to defuse.
All I remember was, I guess, being in the backyard. And then...
It wasn't even the backyard. It was the doorway of your house.
I don't even remember. I don't even remember.
It was in the door, your side doorway that went up that little 3 steps you had on the side. It was right there in that doorway.
For some reason, I thought it was more in the backyard.
And we were the only ones there.
I know.
Mine might have been in the backyard.
Yeah, I guess. That's how recent it was.
Like, no one, all they were going to find was you just in a bloody pile after I left.
It was fucking beer muscles. There was...
I know what it was.
Come on.
I know what it was.
Everyone in this room knows me. I don't fucking get like that.
We all have those nights, man.
Yeah. So I don't know what the fuck was wrong with me. But whatever. But Joe, 10 years later.
More than 10 years at this
More
point,
than 10 years later, and you're here.
Yeah. And I'm happy to be here, guys, honestly.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you.
So, what else do you want to talk about here?
Let's go. So some of our interesting things that we talk on this show, we talk about a lot of tech, a lot of stuff that goes on in the news, some of our interests. We want to kind of start talking about cars and stuff. So, we want to be able to... We just want
an excuse to drive new cars is what we want to do.
Yeah, why not, right? Fucking go for a test drive for any fucking brand new, anything that's out there.
We got to go out there for something crazy. I want to drive like that badass, BMW that Tony Hawk fucking drives.
What does he have?
I don't know. No. It's like the i8 or whatever one costs like more money than I'll make in 5 years. That one. I want to drive that one. It's like the i8 or something, right?
Isn't the i8 electric?
No, the 8 is... No, you're thinking of the Audi.
Yes, I am thinking of the Audi. You're right.
Oh, Audi R8.
The Audi, yes. The one that just looks like...
Is it the i4? The Mercedes, the BMW?
I have no fucking idea. I am a huge Mustang guy, just like you are.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I want like crazy. Like, I can go drive a fucking Kia on a Friday night if I want to.
Fucking drive Kias. I mean, come on.
I'm just saying.
No, I know. But yeah, so we want to start getting into cars.
What Lamborghini dealership is going to let us 3 schmucks test drive one of their cars?
When I drop down the car for my company, maybe they'll see something. I don't know. My boss told me a story about him going to buy a Jeep on a credit card at one point. I mean,
it's not a bad idea. So what else we got? I mean, we can jump into so many different things. It's not even funny. But
so what do we want to do with this podcast? I think it's important to talk about because.
Well, here's a question: what do you want to do? Because I mean, for me, this was something that I wanted to get started over a year ago, and we had our previous hosts that we wanted them to contribute and join because everyone had that kind of their own little niche that we wanted to kind of bring into the show. And then now that they're gone, my thing was really with some tech, some TV shows, some movies, anything that I could think of as far as my interest and I know we have listeners that have the same type of interest that most of us guys have. And since you're new to the show, kind of tell everybody what your interests are and why you're feel like you can contribute to the show, kind of thing.
So I'm being interviewed here, guys.
Well, might as well, right?
I love it. This is what podcasting should be, right? Is us just bullshitting and talking about everything.
Exactly.
So I mean, I'm a nerd at my heart, man. I think nerd is a term. I agree. Nerd is a term that has changed, I feel, in the last decade of life. And even however long Big Bang Theory's been on. I feel like it's
12 years, 13 years, yeah.
Has changed the game of what it means to be a nerd. And I think it means just someone who is super passionate about the things that they love. So like whether you're a beer nerd, you're a Star Wars nerd, whatever it is, that's what nerding out means. And I think that I love nerding out about just everything, like the Star Wars land that's opening up in Disney World.
Oh yeah, well you go there a lot, right?
My son is 3; he'll be 4 in September, and he's already been to Disney 8 times.
Jesus. So Andrew, we brought you on as a guest because you have interesting.
Yes, the job I definitely...
Interesting job. So
Yeah.
give us well, all right. So I've heard different stories from your job, and one particular story reminds me of a scene from Breaking Bad. As far as
I honestly don't know what the fuck you do.
So wait, hold on.
I know
hold on.
But
So
if you reference Breaking Bad, I hate to say it, I'm guilty. I really never watched it. So I gotta watch it.
okay. So there is a
I know
scene in Breaking
drugs
Bad.
everywhere. That's it.
There's a scene. Well, this is
Is
how
this Tuco?
this is how I remember it. I don't know. No, it wasn't Tuco. But there's a scene in Breaking Bad where they put a body in a blue.
In the
What is it?
The hydrochloric acid?
The hydrochloric acid, and they're basically melting a body.
In the bathtub.
Not just in the bathtub, but in like this blue tube that can hold.
No,
the
they
hydrochloric
put it.
acid.
They switched to the tube because they put the hole in the bathtub.
Yes,
Yeah, it was
yes.
Tuco. That's who they were dissolving. Was like season 2. It was Tuco.
I guess maybe. Yeah.
He was held in the basement. Yeah.
So anyway, so this is what reminds me of Andrew's
Big
job.
fan. Sorry.
It's totally not this.
So-
You
so-
put
so-
hydrochloric acid?
No,
Holy
it's-
shit.
So you make meth?
So yeah, we make meth.
You
And,
make meth?
and fat
No.
from
No,
body soap.
all I what I'm trying to get it to was that from what I've heard is that you melt tissue off bodies or
No.
Okay,
no,
what-
we don't
so
do
what
that.
is it?
No.
give
we
us
don't. No, that's too dramatic.
give us a breakdown
So
because it's an interesting job.
Yes. So the company that I work for, and it's a great company. What we specifically work with is tendons from cadavers as well as bone, and it's also called cancellous. What we do is we have a special team. They're called the recovery team. So if you're an organ donor, you don't take nothing living organs like your eyes, lungs, heart. We do the opposite. We take your bones and your tendons.
Okay.
So a good story would be Carson Palmer tore his ACL a couple of years back. So we had a cadaver. They matched the specific measurements of his knee, where the cadaver also matched, and we build, or we want to say we create from a cadaver the piece that goes perfectly into Carson Palmer's knee. So the doctor easily just almost, because when you tear your ACL, there is the specific measurements, and then when they put it in, we make that measurement. So, and it's as simple like replace. You need replace. Yeah.
Hold on. You make a measure. So not only are you harvesting the tendon or the ligament, you're then sizing it?
And then we're sizing it, right? Because then,
So
God
this is a
forbid-
replacement, like
It's a
Or you're
replacement.
just kind of like
no,
kind of
'cause-
meshing it together, and
because how tendons work, the tendons in your body don't heal itself. It's more or less gone.
Right.
So then you got to replace it almost like it's I hate to say it, but it's almost like a car. If something like your rotor goes or the fan belt goes, you have to replace it with something. So we replace it with a ligament from a cadaver, donated it. And now Carson Palmer is able to continue what he was doing.
How much time do you have to do this?
So there is no specific time limit. We have donors that as of right now, if we stop people having being donor organs, we have enough for about next 5 to 7 years of people already.
Nice.
To replace, whatever, whatever they need.
So you're freezing this shit, man.
So everything.
My mind, if you guys can't see this, but my mind is getting blown right now. Man. I'm figuring out what he's doing as he's saying it. Okay.
So we have these refrigerators. Your donor organ. I'm sorry. So we have the recovery team. I mean, and they take it. They take everything out from your femur bone to all your Achilles, your tendon, the muscles that you look in the back. From your rotator cuff, radius ulna, your cadaver, all this.
They basically strip you down.
Pretty much. And then, like I said, it's almost like a chop shop. I mean, it's pretty gruesome.
No, I think it's a good comparison.
It's really, that's how, if you have a brand new Mercedes, you break something, we can replace it.
That's pretty crazy. I mean, it's a cool job. It's definitely a cool job.
Yeah.
One question I have is, how did you get the job? How did you find out about the job? Because that's not something that you can go out.
What you major in?
You're right. So
are you a doctor?
But you would think, because actually most of my coworkers, all of them are international doctors from Pakistan to China. I mean, we have different varieties of doctors. So when they come to this country, they don't have the doctrine yet, so that they start with us, and then like I said, it's just not making tendons for people toward the ACLs or MCLs. It's replacing humerus, like arms. Like if someone has a cancer, they take out the bone, they replace it with someone else's arm, more or less, like the humerus bone. We had a patient, a little kid had a tumor growing in his bone in his forearm. They cut out maybe about like 8 centimeters of that bone. They replaced it with another kid who unfortunately passed away. And today, he could pitch, he could catch with his father.
So no prosthetic, nothing.
No prosthetic.
That's crazy.
They cut it out. They put a little rod into it, and then it's like almost good as new. Unfortunately, he has.
Fucking amazing.
That's really.
And why is not everyone donating their bodies then, man? Like if we can just like.
Right.
So here's another question.
If you can freeze them, save them. It's not like there's a 2 week or a heart has a 24-hour time limit on this shit, right?
Yeah.
And like if you can save this shit in like in a new parts, old new stock fucking kind of way.
So I have a couple questions. So
sure.
The bodies are they've got to be on some kind of donor list, I'm guessing.
Yes, yeah, and if you back your driver's license, your organ donor, check, yes.
Okay, so it's not like these are like Jane Doe bodies, like it's a horrific car accident.
Not everyone can be an organ donor.
Well, it's not organ.
Organ donor / bone donor. I mean, it's still considered the same thing.
Okay,
so if you're not an organ donor, you're not a bone donor.
Okay, gotcha. You can't donate anything.
We take everything. Yeah.
Okay.
We take everything. It's crazy. Yes.
I mean, you hear about the organ donations, but I've never heard of bone donations.
You hear the big ones, right? The eyes, the heart, lungs,
the
kidneys,
all that shit, right?
Livers.
I've never heard of the bone.
So and what our biggest, I guess, manufacturer, that kept us in the beginning is called DBX. And DBX, what they do is, and it's when they, even when if you have surgery done with your mouth, like and you go to dental, they have these. It's called a putty. That putty is a material crushed up bone that from a cadaver that they inject into your jaw or something, and then that helps it replenish whatever you lost that the doctor took out.
Okay.
So if you have like like a real seriously teeth and injuries or something that they dig out, they just implant it with this putty, and then that putty generates from your body, and then it's almost as good as new.
That's interesting.
I'm sorry. No.
My wife works for a dentist. I didn't know that's where that. I mean, I know what you're talking about. I didn't know where it comes from.
Right, and it's interesting. Majority is from a cadaver. So an average cadaver, could help almost up to 200 people, because you're making these syringes, and you can get like 100 syringes, that's 100 different patients. So it's crazy how
that's insane. I don't think I've ever heard.
And I'm pretty sure the numbers probably even higher.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've already learned so much. I know we're gonna learn a lot more, but I am going down a rabbit hole fucking tonight on fucking on Google and YouTube. Wow.
And it's funny because this is actually old technology that we're doing. Now we're digging into, I hate this, it's kind of disgusting, but the placenta with women who have breast implants or breast reduction from, if they have cancer, and it's just helping rejuvenate themselves.
Yeah.
Stem cells are amazing.
Exactly,
thing,
the stem cells, right? And now we also have another technology called.
It's expensive to do that, though.
Sure, I mean,
I heard about some guy grew a toe back. Like he lost his toe to diabetes, started getting stem cell injections in the toe for that.
Sure,
and a nub grew fucking back.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy where technology is going. The program that I'm on now is called Cardimax, and what we're doing is we're taking cartilage from cadavers, like from your femur bone, your talus, the bone that's in your foot, and we're making it into a putty that where if you have generation growing on your anywhere in your knee, the doctor cuts it out. They implant this like almost like a putty, like a paste, like you do to a wall, and the cells in it rejuvenate, and then boom, you don't need a knee replacement because it's already replacing it. And it's big right now in European.
All the soccer players,
right?
Thing?
Exactly. Right. And so we're trying to get it over here, and little by little. But that's like our bread and butter,
like FDA clearance and all that shit, right?
Right.
Yeah, but like you're on the cutting edge of this shit, then, man, because it sounds like it's a small industry. It doesn't sound.
We are. Our company is the number one company, and there is other other companies. I don't know their real names.
Like
competitors, right? They're using farm animals, whatnot. But we are specific human tissue, and it's like it is mind blowing because
that is insane.
So.
I wish we were videotaping this because my facial expressions have to be hilarious right now.
No, really.
No,
my brain is breaking as I'm listening to you. I'm like, glitch.
Right.
No, I mean, this is
this isn't like you don't necessarily have to replace one bone. Like it's not a 1-for-1. Like, I'm not going to use the right terms, but like grind up a bone. And use it to fix something else.
It don't matter what bone we get from you.
So it's not like
it's pretty much your body.
Like a liver transplant is for a liver.
Well, like yes. I mean, again, we don't do live organs. Like,
but I'm saying, like you could take one type of bone,
right?
And it doesn't necessarily have to be used to fix that type.
Yeah, you wouldn't know.
He's saying liver cells and heart cells are different, right?
Right.
But
because they have different functions,
bone cells are bone cells.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you needed maybe, let's say, or you couldn't find a specific bone for your shin, right? Maybe you could take, but say it's a small piece that you need or something, and can you take it from the forearm and put it in the shin?
You can if it's
the right size or whatever,
right? Because there is a lot of I want to say units or specific manufacturing parts that we make that even like the ribs in your bone. So if you want a nose job done, it's the coastal cartilage in your ribs and the rhinoplastic, I believe it's called.
Okay.
So that's how they get it. They get it from your rib. So someone gets a nose job, they take out the cartilage from your nose and replace it with a cadaver's rib part, and then that it is. It's cartilage is cartilage. It don't matter.
That's
and the same thing with bone. Insane. Yeah, it's so much the same. And and it's really fascinating.
It makes sense though, doesn't it? I mean,
no, it does. It does. Like you have these pieces, you shave it down, you cut it up to however you want it, you mold it, and you use it for what you need it. Right?
We're all the same things.
So it's recycling. So
basically,
it is recycling. The biggest question I always ask is like, well, this person is different from that person. So how is it possible that your body generates? And it's true, just like Ray said, that we're all the same. And Joe said, I'm sorry, that we are all the same inside, and enough antibiotics, and if the doctor does it right, it just our body are now evolving to, accept
to adapt and all
these
that.
sorts of-
You know that this is, by the way, completely different than what I thought. I thought you were like melting tissue
Wait,
and fucking you were getting these
but-
bones, and I was like, what the fuck?
I thought you were making fucking skeletons for like high school kids. I thought you were sitting in the lab,
that was
boiling bones,
that was-
putting them together with little hooks.
I was thinking that too at one point. I was like, I wonder he dips a whole body and
He's got
pulls out a
dolls
skeleton.
He's got dolls in his basement that he's fucking.
But don't get me wrong, there's enough solutions and like antibiotics that that we go through that make it safe, and that's what our main company is. We want to be safe for the patient, safe for the people working on there. I mean, we're head to toe from aseptic technique, head to toe. I mean, we have goggles, we have masks on, we have a certain layer of clothing on us called bunny suits, where like it's polyester that nothing comes in, just everything comes out.
So when you get a body, right, you're getting basically, let's say, straight from a hospital or from morgue or whatever, right?
Right.
What's your process like as far as you get it and then what?
Yeah, so easy. Okay. Before I was talking about a recovery team. So the recovery team, they're, I don't want to say they're the most important to what we do, but they retract everything from a person's body.
Okay.
So when we get it, if we get the femur bone, like we don't get the skin, all
so
that muscle.
they take everything out.
So they take majority of it out. We do have another department in our company that actually deals with skin. So if you're, again, if
like
you're an
a
organ
burn
donor,
victim.
if you're a burn victim, if you're a woman you had the breast cancer or whatnot, and they have a whole unit and with skin, and if they need to take chunks of skin out, they replace it with the cadaver skin, and hope it grows, and we have really high case of very successful.
So you're not the chop shop, you're the fence, is what you are. The doctors are chopping up the bodies essentially, and you're the one that's, I don't want to say selling them because that's probably the wrong terminology. But
no, but I mean, we're a nonprofit, so yeah. So whatever the recovery team does, the more they recover, the more we could get out of a donor, and the more money the company makes to help us continue what we're doing, and helping on patients, which is our number one goal, making everyone's life easier.
Because I have a wonderful weekend coming up.
Yeah, what do you got?
I have to go get a colonoscopy and an endoscopy. So I'm basically getting Chinese finger trapped on Friday over here.
Very nice.
So isn't it kind of weird how we're getting old?
First?
That I remember, probably, yeah. But I'm probably not going to remember because they're putting me under anesthesia. So, yeah, woo!
Isn't it kind of weird how we're getting old and all these little things that we have to do to fix or find what's wrong with us?
These like routine maintenances that usually...
No, this is not routine maintenance. Like, you understand.
This is like to find out what's going on with you.
After the podcast we had with Andrew, I had to pull over when I was drinking the Pepto-Bismol and iced tea. I had to pull over on the side of the road driving home to puke out the Pepto-Bismol because my stomach is so fucked. So they don't know what's going on. So they're like, well, we got to get in there and look.
Let's flush out.
Yeah.
So how much more are you down? I know you've been driving.
Yeah, I'm down, I think, total like 25 pounds in like the last like month and a half. I'm like at 303, which is 302. I don't know. I haven't weighed myself a couple of days, which is the latest I've been in fucking forever, man.
Since like high school.
Almost college, definitely. So I mean, it's been crazy, and we just gotta figure out what's going on with this stomach. I think I really.
So what do they have you doing? I know you mentioned earlier before the show about the
prep,
the laxatives. Yeah, what's the prep like? Because all right. So for me, I mean, we're all pretty much the same age. Yeah. I've never had a colonoscopy before.
Me either.
So
nor I.
Right. So this is your first one. So what's the prep work like?
So they're going to take your flour.
So they are. Yes. We're gonna have a very special relationship, me and that doctor. So I had to go pick up this medicine that was $100 fucking for with insurance.
Wow.
Which is insane. I was like, they said they had a cheaper way. I'm like, whatever. This is the recommended way. I'm like, I want nothing up there that's going to cause a problem for the doctor in and out. I'm like, I want to be wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. So, you have to get these. They have 2 6-ounce bottles of the laxative.
Okay.
And they give you a 16-ounce cup, and you have to pour in the 6 ounces and then fill it up the 16 ounces with water. Basically, chug it down, and then the next hour drink 2 more 16-ounce glasses of water.
Now, this is the day of.
This is the Thursday before, so 5 o'clock.
Oh, so they want you fucking like.
Yeah, so
So you have to drink one first, and then an hour later drink the other.
So Thursday, I have to be on a clear liquid diet all day. So nothing but like chicken broth, non-red Gatorade, no reds or purples, but just like
You should just drink orange
Just drink
soda.
Tito's. Just drink Tito's.
no alcohol for a week. It said. So I have to have an all clear diet, and then at 5 o'clock on Thursday night, I got to take this first dose. And I was told you got to basically sit on the toilet as you're taking it because it runs through you that quick. And then,
So is it like, I guess, a concentrated version of like that magnesium? What's it called? Like that shit that they sell at CVS, magnesium like citrate or whatever the fuck it is.
Probably, yeah. It's like this stuff they give like. Remember when we had to take Kevin to the emergency room and they had to pump his stomach?
Yes.
It's like that level of shit they give you, man. It's just to get it out.
I'm just picturing Dumb and Dumber when he's on the bowl.
Yes. This is what I'm thinking. So that was what he did. He poured in the whole bottle. I've got to do it twice. So then if my appointment is before 11 the next day, which I find out on the day before, I do the second time at 8 o'clock at night. And then I go to bed and get up and go do my thing. And then if it's not, I have to wake up 5 hours before the appointment and do the next dosage.
So I'm curious, are there any side effects to this medication? You know, there's side effects to something.
It looks pretty safe.
You're sleeping on the bowl.
You may want to. I mean,
Yeah, seriously. Although you're going to lose a lot more weight that day. That day,
I will. Yeah.
that day you're going to get under that 300
Well,
mark.
so tomorrow I'm going to try and eat like lighter stuff. I'm not going to go crazy. I'm going to eat like some rice, maybe not rice, but like lighter things.
Yeah.
And then Thursday's obviously all fucking liquid. So that way I can clean myself out and get in and get this done.
I don't know if
I'm more nervous with the anesthesia than anything because the last time I was under was when I had my tonsils out when I was like 3, 4, however old I was.
Yeah.
And my dad, I remember, got very sick from it when he had to go under for some procedures.
Did you tell him that you may get sick?
I mean, I told him my dad did. They said, well, that's not really necessarily an epidemic, telling it's going to happen to me because it happened to him.
Yeah.
But we'll see, man. It's going to be,
it's going to be an interesting day for you.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have an update.
We'll talk about the next week. I mean, all right, back to my butt.
Back to your story.
Getting back to your ass.
So we need a play-by-play of. I know you had to drink some stuff.
So
and then what happened, and then I know we got some audio clips of you just letting it rip. But
to say the least.
So yeah, go for it.
So it all started on a Thursday morning. So the day before your test, you're not allowed to eat or drink anything other than a clear liquid diet, and no reds, oranges, certain color food dyes you couldn't have because it will stain the inside of your colon when they're roto-rooting you or colonoscopying you, whatever you want to call it.
They just don't want the color to transfer on the roto-rooter. That's what it is.
Well,
No. I'm kidding.
Yes,
I'm
that's
kidding.
exactly it. So all liquids, water, chicken broth was all I had the day before.
Yeah.
And then at 5 o'clock, you got to start taking, it's called Suprep. It's prescription strength laxatives is what it is. That come in 2 comically large bottles.
So colon blow.
Essentially. Yes. So, when everyone who has kids, we all do, when you go to buy the Tylenol for your kids, that bottle was smaller than the bottle of laxative I had to drink twice.
Wow.
So those ones are usually like 4.5 ounces.
Yeah.
This was a 6-ounce bottle.
Okay.
Almost a full fucking, almost the size of a nip.
Yeah.
So it's like the small setting on a Keurig.
Yes.
Okay.
So you had to pour that into this cup they gave with you, which has branding potential. We got to figure out a way to brand that for somebody.
Yeah.
It'd be funny. And you fill it up with 10 ounces of water because you got to make it into a 16-ounce cup.
Okay.
Because it's diluted. So you drink that down. They say, you drink as kind of quick as you can, followed by 2 more 16-ounce cups of water because you're about to unleash all fury onto your toilet bowl.
Can you funnel it?
I mean, I drink pretty quick to begin with, so I just necked it down.
I can't imagine it tastes very well, so I don't think
it was grape flavored. It was grape flavored. It wasn't terrible.
Was it really grape?
Was it like the medicine grape flavor?
It was Diamond Tappy.
Okay.
Oh,
Or
that's not bad.
or
It's not terrible.
Maybe more like
Because when you're an adult, it's not terrible.
So
right?
Delsum. So I think Delsum is one of the better tasting
Yeah.
cough medicines.
Yeah.
It tasted like that.
Okay.
So it was on the better side of cough medicine.
Okay.
It didn't give you that.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
when you're done with it. So you chug that down, and then
Kind on the way in,
so then
not so much on
Not
the
so
way
much
out.
on the way out.
so then you're waiting for this massive explosion to happen, and I'm ready for it, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, yeah, I'm starting to get a little crampy, and my wife looks, you okay? I'm like, honestly, compared to everything I've been dealing with, this
It's nothing.
is
yeah.
nothing. Like it feels
It's when you start
normal.
It's when you start sweating. It's when you have to worry.
Yeah. So I get upstairs for the first round of my shitting, and which I recorded for you guys. I can play some of the sounds we want to really
That's fucking
disgust people.
disgusting. I love it.
It is exactly what you expect it to be. So
So how long between you finishing the
voice notes
before you finish the liquid
did I
before
start,
you
start
started
pooping?
Yeah.
Probably about, for me, half hour, 40 minutes or so, I'd say.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't like you drank it and it instantaneously happened like I was expecting. Again, it also could have been that my insides are just fucking destroyed at this point. They're just all ridden with pus. I have no fucking idea. So we'll get there. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Okay.
So you start this and you take the first dose at 5 o'clock, and you shit, and then you have an appointment before 11 a.m. You take the second dose at 8 o'clock the night before. If it's after 11 a.m., you got to take it 5 hours before. So my appointment was 10:30. My second dose is 8 o'clock at night.
It's just basically to just make sure you
Flush out your system.
everything right.
So I take the second dose. I shit some more. My wife and son sleep downstairs because he usually sleeps in bed with us. I'm like, babe, I might be up and down like every 15 minutes tonight.
Yeah.
So it's like, we'll have a camp out downstairs. So they camped out downstairs. And I pooped a couple more times, nothing crazy. And we get to there, so I think I'm ready the next morning. We get up and we head out to the hospital.
Okay.
So
Now, are you feeling anything in the morning? Like anything came out after, or?
I pooped a little bit in the morning.
Do you have any accidents?
I did not.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's a
No.
good one.
No accident. So my toilet
No-
is literally two
no
steps
leakage?
from the bed. No leakage. My butthole's tight. Tight butthole here, guys. Tight butthole. So we get up the next day. We go down there, and again, I couldn't drink anything after, I want to say it was like 8 a.m. was my cutoff time, or 7 a.m. was my cutoff time for drinking the day of.
Okay.
So I think it was like 5 or 6 hours before, whatever that was, I had to stop drinking. So I
Right.
drank a big glass of water before then, because you guys see me drink here all the time. I'm a thirsty
Yeah,
guy.
you get thirsty. Yeah.
So we get there and we go in. They give me, I go into a room. I change. You can pop a bottle. It's
No,
okay.
it's all right. Didn't want to interrupt.
So we get up to the hospital. We get into the room. I get changed. Put my clothes in the thing. They can put my IV in. They gotta give me. They tell you not to take your diet. So I have diabetes, and they said don't take the medicine. So I didn't take it. So then my blood sugar was a little off. So they give me a little insulin.
Well, they told you not to take it, so
Rightly
I mean-
so, yeah. So, but they say it's more dangerous in anesthesia being low blood sugar than high blood sugar, because it's harder to bring your blood sugar up to the level they need than to bring it down to the level you need, because insulin acts much faster than the way we digest and everything.
gotcha.
So they give me all the stuff I need. They wheel me into the room. I get in there, start talking with the nursing staff. They're like, "Oh yeah, I went to high schools down the street from like Jersey City." I'm like, "Oh yeah," and then
So like 3, 2.
Just start putting on some Barry
no,
White.
so they're talking about North Bergen. I'm like, "Yeah, we didn't like North Bergen at prep," and I'm like, "Okay, can you just take a couple deep breaths?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." I went, and that was it. It was lights out. The next thing I remember was being in the recovery room. So
Okay, here's a question. When you woke up, was it one of those you start having a weird conversation with your wife or with a nurse?
no.
Okay.
So I don't know if this is because of my body over the years, but so it reminded me a lot of. So when I was in my first freshman year of college, and I say it that way because I had two. freshman years at 2 different colleges. At Rutgers, I used to judge how good my nights were by how little I remembered.
Yeah.
Because I used to be a blackout drinker. You give me, like, I love vodka. I go lights out. It's just like, I go on autopilot and it's like, woo! And so when I woke up, it reminded me of, like, waking up and, like, where am I? What room is this? Like, I woke up in, like, frat house common rooms. I woke up in girls' dorm rooms. I woke up under a fucking porch that had lattice around it. It took me 5 minutes to find out how I got in there to get out. Like, don't know why that seemed like a good idea. Oh, it looks comfy.
So here's a question regarding that part, that porch. Are you a snorer? And did people think that there was a bear under the porch?
I am very much a snorer now. Back then, I was more of a moaner first. At Rutgers, so when I used to fall asleep, so I was heavier.
Similar to Ray with his
my moose calls. Yep.
But I'm more like, I'll be like, like, I'll be making those kind of sounds. To the point where at Rutgers, one of the teachers had to say, "Could someone wake him up, please?" Because I was moaning so loud in class. So, my friends are sitting there hysterical laughing because I'm moaning in the middle of class, like,
And back then, iPhones weren't a thing, so there was no video of it.
No, exactly.
So did you know the owners of the house where you fell asleep?
It was
whatever under the porch.
It was a fraternity house. So I don't know, maybe I dropped something down there and I was looking for it the night before and then
just passed out.
It looked comfortable. I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to lay here for a minute and then you wake up. I mean, how many bathrooms have I woken up like that before in my life, you know?
Yeah, I've done that a few times.
And it was just like the lights came on. Like I opened my eyes, I'm like, whoa.
Like,
and,
what happened? Yeah.
Yeah, and then the nurse comes in.
Best sleep of your life.
Yes. I mean, I don't know if I really classify it as sleep because it was just, I don't know, maybe because I don't sleep right. Like for me, like waking up, turning over and falling asleep is part of the sleep process to me. Just
gotcha. Okay.
Going down and coming up was like blacking out more to me, honestly.
Okay.
I hate to say it.
No, yeah, makes sense.
So I wake up and, the nurse comes in and says, "Hey, how you doing? Checking on me. Everything okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. A little thirsty." So he gets me some water and everything. And then the nurse who was in the room with me, one of the, I don't know, it wasn't the anesthesiologist, but one of the OR nurses who do this procedure, comes and says, "Okay, so the endoscopy was a success. We were able to do that. But you weren't fully prepped with your colonoscopy, so we have to go back and do it again. We weren't able to complete it." So I have to go back now in a month or two and do another colonoscopy.
Why so late? Why a month or two?
Just their schedule.
Oh, okay.
This first appointment.
It's like, no, something has to heal first.
So yeah. So like my first appointment.
Sorry.
Well, he said he was saying he's probably a little looser now, right?
Yes, I'm. They need my butthole to have time to get tighter again, so I don't poop the bed, right? So yeah, I mean, it is what it is, just the next prep. So they finally called me yesterday to, talk about the rescheduling.
So did you do something wrong? Like, what was...
I guess I'm just a shitty guy.
They're gonna double the dose next time.
Hey,
That's what they're gonna do.
More of that laxative shit?
So the whole prep has changed. So I need to now fast for 2 days before the procedure.
Okay.
But in addition to that, I gotta start taking. So they told me, I didn't realize that the $100 was really expensive for this medicine. So like, yeah, we're not gonna use that next time. They're gonna use over the counter stuff that I can buy.
Oh, okay.
Like a Miralax, I think she was saying.
Yeah.
You just use more of it, I guess.
I told you they're gonna double dosage.
But what they have me doing now is they have me starting on, if my appointment's on Friday, starting on Monday. Taking
Holy
laxatives.
shit!
So I'm gonna have
seriously.
So I'm gonna have
You're
laxatives.
literally shitting all week.
I'm gonna have laxatives in my system for the entire week, and then so hoping that's gonna soften everything up in me.
Yeah.
And then
So how are you gonna manage that will work?
Work from home.
I mean, so they don't.
Travels.
They said they don't want me taking laxatives all day, like one dose a day. So they said like
but
you
still...
take it at nighttime is when you take it.
All right.
I
guess.
What happens when you're in a sales meeting and your ass explodes?
So
wait, so one dose is a full bottle, or
I don't know.
Oh,
we haven't talked
it's
about
gonna be a different.
prep
It's gonna be a different type now.
Yeah.
So,
but
so here's the thing, right? If
that's insane.
Again, you learn being on the road as much as I am. Lowe's bathrooms are nice. Hotels, you need to really go to take it to poop. You find like a Hilton, a DoubleTree, you park in a parking lot. You walk right in like you belong there. You find
of course, yeah,
the bathroom. You go take a shit.
Yeah,
these are things you just learn from being on the road all fucking day.
But your time maybe a little less before you need to be on a roll.
Or you just gotta be more vigilant. You know, you can't. You feel bubble guts a little bit. You can't say, "Oh, I can make it to the next rest stop."
You got to be aware of your surroundings, even if you don't have to poop, because you're not
Yeah.
going to know when it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's gonna suck ass.
Yeah, you can't be in the middle of bumblefuck unless. Bring a bucket and a pair of socks with you.
I'm not gonna lie. I have
why
shit my
socks?
pants on the road.
It's a story from someone that I remember.
Oh, yeah.
There's a comedian who has a story about that. I just listened to him today with Kreischer or one of them, Joe List.
Anybody else got anything?
That's all
No.
I got.
Just
Cool.
like us, follow us.
Yeah,
Subscribe.
good.
Hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, Average Gents Podcast, and Instagram, actually, now.
yes.
So, yeah.
You're gonna start seeing more content from us. I'm gonna start just posting my thoughts.
Everywhere.
Yes,
It's going everywhere. If it's annoying, too bad.
deal with it.
On that note, good night.
Good night.